Hello everybody, welcome back to Limited Adhesion Season 2. This is round 7 of the championship and the run to the title. My name is Gareth and joining me as always in the commentary box is Jim. Jim, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, a little bit jet lagged down in Australia now, but that week off has been really helpful and as ever, very happy to be here.
Indeed. And just a reminder as always that you can find news, reviews and videos of our championships on the limitofadhesion.com. Please check it out. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship then. After the first half of the season, Rob Miller in a commanding lead at the top. David Lyne now up to second place after his result at Oulton Park, with Gavin Kelly falling to third. But the standout performer has to be Mark Tranter after his back-to-back wins in Suzuka and Oulton Park, moving him up to fourth in the championship. And he's really starting to get a run on now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens next. And now, as we look at the team's championship, we can see that little and large are really starting to close in on the Stupid Aguirre team at the top, with Keith Chegwin Memorial team cementing their place in third. But it's all pretty close there. Now, one of our drivers, Mark Tranter, is the only one of us who's actually driven the real Oulton Park track and also obviously the version in iRacing. So here now is Mark with an onboard feature of his Radical racing car and the Skip Barber around Oulton Park.
So here we are for a side-by-side comparison of my Radical SR1 versus the iRacing Skip Barber. Into Old Hall Corner, both cars are fairly even through here, about the same minimum speed at the apex, but the Radical just pulling away slightly on the exit. Into Denton's, carrying more speed in the Radical, but then into Cascades, cars are fairly even, with the Radical pulling away again on the exit. And then coming down into Island Bend, you'll see a bit braver in the Skip Barber, just being a bit cautious in the real world. And then down into Shell Oil's corner, cars are fairly even, possibly on the throttle a little earlier in the Skip Barber, but the Radical's power is just able to pull it away quicker. Coming down into Britain's, I was able to take more curb on the sim, which meant carrying more speed, but the Radical once again using its power and weight to just pull out of the corner and gain lap time. Coming down into Hislops, again braver in the sim, attacking the apexes, and through Knickerbrook the cars are fairly even, with the Radical using its horsepower again to pull it up the hill to a top speed of 189 kilometers an hour versus 172. Then using the downforce through Druids, just carry a bit more speed in the Radical compared to the Skip Barber. Coming down to the penultimate corner, Lodge messing up the entry a little bit on the brakes, which tightened the entry up and lost a bit of time there, with the lap in the Skip Barber being much neater. And across the line, doing a 1 minute 45.56 in the Radical and a 1 minute 51.104 in the Skip Barber.
Thanks Mark for that fascinating insight into Oulton Park. I really enjoyed that. And now we are going to go over to Jim, who's going to tell us about this week's track, Oran Park.
We're on the outskirts of Sydney for our second figure of 8 track this season. A quick kink left followed by the heaviest braking zone into the Coca-Cola corner starts the lap. This should be the primary overtaking spot, but the cars will need to be side by side before they get there. Shell corner is a second opportunity to complete a pass before the track then circles round itself over the bridge. The undulations then come thick and fast, in particular at the
Thanks,
blind
Jim.
crested of
Coming up
Ryan
now to the
Aluminium
end
Dogleg
of
chicane
our
before the cars
qualifying
finish the lap
session,
down the long main straight
and
to do it
we are
all
going to
over
go and
again.
take a look at the pole lap.
Well, we're riding on board with Miller now as we go on to the long main straight, and he's looking at the right hand side now for the edge of the pit wall, right there for his turn-in point as we go for the sweep of the quick left-hander, and it's down to first gear around Coca-Cola corner, nice and tight on the apex, use a bit of the curb on exit, and I will go under the bridge, which is a figure of 8 section, and braking again down to first gear for the Shell corner where we can see a few of those second overtakes. And then we're going to look at the left hand side, and as our turning point nice and early as we make our way through the section of right hand corners, back over the bridge, Slightly off throttle, kiss the apex, and this section's extremely fast. Miller eases off the gas as we go downhill and out into Momo corner, taking a lot of the curb on the inside. You can run the car a little bit wide on the outside too, and keep it on the right hand side of the track to go over the blind crest at O'Brien Aluminium Dogleg. We're going to brake just into the foot of the hill, go on the edge of grip, try and run as wide as you can, use some of the pit entry, and that lap for Miller a 1:14.730. That lap then puts Miller on pole over 3/10 ahead of the stupid augury of Kelly, who starts in P2 for the second race in succession. Winslade has turned a corner after P4 at Oulton Park with another PB with P3 and has the Wellings of Garlic for company with his fourth place qualifying of the season. Tranter again is on row 3 in P5 as a sole verge of grip presence, and Line doesn't make the front row for the first time this season in P6. Batty has found his way down the mountain of meditation and is in P7, and another returnee is Little and Large's Hankin, who takes his customary place in 8th. Richards leads row 5 but isn't far behind those in front and sets a time much faster than those behind. Dixon is also back after missing out at Oulton and starts in 10th. Aaron Jenkins of Dirty Legends is 2 seconds off the pace in P11 but is still faster than both the Alpha Blobby of Kimberley in 12th and the Keith Chegwin Memorial Team's Gary Jones, who starts 13th. Burnett and both the Lucky Bibs drivers are not racing at Oran Park this week.
Thanks, Jim. That's exciting qualifying, and here we are on the grid then. Lights going red already. We're set for our round 7 at Oran Park. Lights going green. Let's see what happens here then. That's Kelly then getting alongside Miller and attacking already as we come down to the sweeper. Garlic getting alongside Winslade in P3 and P4, and that's Tranter going to the inside as well. This is getting tight into this corner. Let's see what happens. Miller holds his lead. Kelly taking a sensible approach, and Tranter then up to 4th place and past Garlic. Always fast starting his mark. Here we come into turn 3. And it's Miller from Kelly from Winslade. Surprisingly safe start then, Jim.
Yeah, it's very good, very tidy. First sweeper, obviously Dixon on board here as we go over the yoke on the bridge. Yeah, very tidy again. It's 2 weeks in a row that the cars have been very well behaved on that opening lap. I thought they could have a few spins into the sweeper and going into the first corners.
Yeah, it's a super tricky corner, isn't it?
I think we might see a few incidents later on in the race. That's going to be the prime overtaking spot. And yeah, Winslade right on the back of Kelly now, looking on the inside.
A little bit of contact there. I saw his wing bending as they came together in the final corner. So, as we complete the end of lap 1, it's Miller from Kelly, Winslade slotting in behind then, Tranter in 4th, Garlic in 5th. And there's a crash at the front. That is Kelly into the barrier, Miller in the gravel. Such a shame to see. And further contact behind then, that was Tranter, and gosh, lots going on there. So Winslade now been left in the front. Go on.
It just looked like that Kelly forgot to brake then. He was in a little drag race with Winslade after Winslade caught up him on that last corner, and then all of a sudden Winslade slotted in behind, and Kelly, well, I wasn't predicting incidents that early, commentator's curse, but yeah, Kelly going straight into the back of the leader, Miller. There just seems to be a magnet between those two drivers at the moment.
Yeah, such a shame to see those two are doing so well. Look at the slide Tranter is having that through there. A shame to see because they were. It was could have been an exciting race between Miller and Kelly for the whole race, but never mind. As we see Batty now attacking the sliding Tranter as they come through the final corner, getting alongside. It's an exciting way to do a pass. Miller slotting in behind them. I wonder how much damage he's got from that crash at the beginning.
That's the second lap in a row we've seen.
Oh, sorry, that's Hankin, isn't it? I beg your pardon. Oh, Hankin's dropped it. That was Miller going through. Oh, my mistake. As we see the Alpha Blobby of Kimberley getting past Hankin into 11th.
We've got Hankin trying to fight back. But yeah, I was just thinking that's the second time we've seen a stupid Aguri in a bit of a drag race down that long straight, and it's you can see the difference in speed. The speed differential between the cars can be pivotal when you get into that fast right-hander.
Indeed, yeah, and we can see damage on the back of Winslay's car as well as the front now, so presumably performance impacting. We'll see what happens there. Garlic hot on his heels, trying to find a way through. It's probably not the place to try and do it as they come through the O'Brien aluminium dogleg into the final corner. Line hot on their heels, making up after his poor qualifying.
It's good to see Winslade in the lead. He's been a bit more of a midfield fighter, but showing some true pace this time round. With that, it's just a whisker off second place and starting on the front row.
Yeah, starting to unlock something there. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in this second half of the season. As you say, midfield for most of the first half.
Is that Kelly in front of them as well? Already that far back with that incident he's had on the second lap. So Kelly essentially a lap behind already, and it's only our third lap.
That's his teammate Batty running wide there. So I presume Kelly must have got towed after hitting the barrier so hard into the Coca-Cola corner in that lap 2 incident. Or did he just reverse out and continue? Not sure yet.
Well, have what Batty's having, whatever drink that is. He's all over the place.
Yeah, and there's Tranter with an opportunistic move around the outside. That was pretty cool. And that's Richards, the second Williams car, also on the attack.
That's not an overtaking spot there, but again, the stupid Aguri involved in another drag race down the start-finish straight, and it's Richards and Miller behind them as well. It's 2x2. Yeah, Batty just seemed to be all over the place. I don't know if he's carrying damage or something, but struggling to be to keeping the car on the track. Had a few incident points in iRacing for that, but he keeps himself in 4th place.
Yeah, he's doing well. Spirited driving. On board with Mark Tranter then, and looking at Batty. So this is P4 and P5. Big lock up there as they come through the hairpin.
It's this section of track which is just right-hander after right-hander after right-hander. There's I think 5 in one place, because it is a figure of 8, of course, the second one this season.
Sideways.
It's not how you want to go through there. Very sideways by Tranter. He did very well to hold on to that.
Yeah, and we're looking back at that was Richard's nose cone coming off there, so there must have been some more contact. It's a very tricky track on cold tyres as well. And the sweeper into Coca-Cola, turn 1 and 2 in particular, being very difficult early on. Replay then, and Mark Tranter from the start.
He's customary taking up positions, doesn't he, on the first lap? I don't think there's been a race where Tranter hasn't made up positions on the first lap.
No, you're right. The way he comes across just gets some toe instantly. It's a great racer's instinct, and looking to the inside, nothing doing there. So this is the lap 2 crash.
Oh, he didn't forget to brake. He just went a bit too wide by the look of it, and that's a heavy impact. Another angle of it.
Yeah, controlling the car, and I think Miller was probably braking more sensibly because it was such an early part of the lap, and that's definitely a toe job, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have a regrowing.
And that's so Tranter, Winslade locking up to avoid the accident, and Tranter into the back of him, and then contact between Batty and Tranter. Wow, it was all going on that back there.
If I was attending this race in person, we've got Winslade spinning off there. As a back
Garlic was getting alongside down the straight, and then
it's all kicking off. That's where I was going to say. That's where I'd want to sit for this first 2 corners. There's just so much happening right there, and yeah, Garlic
absolutely,
this race.
So it was either of them battling for a first-time win. So now let's see what James Garlick can do. Now he is in the lead. David Lyon, 3-time winner in the league now, sitting in second place.
Winslade's still on for his first podium, but it's. I'm just thinking. I don't think we've seen a pass for the lead, but we've seen several leaders so far. Just with incidents, it's maybe a bit of a curse to be in first place.
Yeah, great point. Winslade's definitely carrying a lot of damage though, front and rear, so it's just a case of how much performance has been impacted in that. As we see Tranter, brilliant in dive to the inside of Richards. Richards fights him back on the exit, and another drag race. Here we go.
Terrific battle, these guys, and yeah, he's lost out. So that different compromise line that he took to take the position has now ended up with him behind, and you have to be side by side as you go for the sweeper right there to have a move that might stick. And yeah, Richards does very well to fight back, and he's running up in 5th place, and a terrific race now for the Williams team in first and 5th place.
Indeed, yeah, and just looking behind them, there's Rob Miller, our pole sitter, and behind him Lawrence Aaron Jenkins, the Ledge, having a pretty sterling effort, now running in 8th place.
Yeah, we've got Rob Miller, the pole sitter, like you say. He was been able to put in a 1:14.7, I think it was, in his qualifying, and we've got the Ledge, like you say, matching his pace, and he's not really losing out to Miller so far. So this front, well, the entire field pretty much are really very wide. This entire field are very evenly matched, and the Ledge looking like he might be having a go, and they're having to defend from Dixon and attack Miller at the same time.
Yeah, it's a tricky job defending and attacking. Let's see what he can do. So Dixon and Hankin, so 4 cars here as they come down the straight. And Miller going into the pits. He needs repairs. He's obviously decided there must have been a problem with the car after that healthy whack from Kelly in lap 2. Hankin to the inside of Dixon. Gets the job done. Nice move. As they come into Coca-Cola. So, the Ledge now up to 7th place. Be a decent haul for the Dirty Legends, actually, if they can hold this off. 3rd and 7th, that would be great.
Well, Hankin's done pretty well as well. I just want to call that out for what we've seen. Last time we saw him on screen, I think he was just behind Kimberley. And Miller and Kelly, of course, have gone in the pits. You see Miller in the pits right now. So, yeah, Hankin's dropped down to, I think, about 12th place, and now got himself up into 8th where he started. So good shout out for that after struggling on the first laps.
Yeah, decent recovery, like you say. So here we've got Tranter again, being chased by Richards, missing his nose tip, and the Ledge looking to attack Richards. Those two are having quite a good fight at Oulton Park. Oh, Hankin into the wall there. So came out the final corner. Yeah, Richards and the Ledge were sort of trading times quite a lot during the Oulton Park race. So as we see lining up Garlick for the lead of the race now as they come into turn 3. Lock up from Garlick. Not the first time we've seen that in this championship. Oh, nice bit of defence there, forcing line wide.
Difficult to overtake as you go over the bridge, but yeah, for fantastic defence there by Garlick. It was firm but fair, I'd say. See Winslade be rubbing his hands, seeing that these guys now fighting for the lead and might be able to inch back. But yeah, Garlick maintains first place, but Lime really not letting him have any breathing space whatsoever.
No, indeed, yeah. And so that's Dixon and the Ledge. Dixon getting past with a great move. You don't really see passes there very often.
Outrageous to be trying to overtake there, so maybe the Ledge went a bit wide or something, or Dixon's feeling particularly brave now he's officially joined the Alpha Blobby team in his Alpha Blobby debut, and still running that Ferrari livery, but he's now up in 7th place after taking that position off the Ledge and chasing down Richards.
Yeah. And what would you rather see him do then? Would you rather see him go full Alpha Blobby or just... Oh, who's that going into the pits? That's the Ledge. So the Ledge must have had contact then, coming in for some repairs.
Yeah, that could explain how Dixon got past potentially there.
As we see the other Alpha Blobby of Kimberley then chasing down Gary Jones, who's now up to 8th, so this is for 8th and 9th place in the race. Gosh, the passing and positions changing all over the place now.
I'd love to see a lap chart on this race. It's been a bit chaotic, hasn't it, with somebody else in the pits now. Who's that? Got Hankin going in the pits.
Yeah, Hankin in for repairs, like you say.
We did see him have that bit of a whack, didn't we? It was Hankin as he exited the
He went
the
into
last
the wall,
corner.
didn't he? Yeah.
So all that work recovering those places just going straight out the window, and I have Kelly chasing him down in a second now. Kelly from recovering from last place, and there you see the quick repair and Kelly on the exit. That's a shame for Hankin. And yeah, now he's into plumb last.
So we see Stephen Batty now attacking Winslade. Batty with the current fastest lap of the race with a 1:14.899. So they come into T2. And Batty has just ripped maybe a couple of seconds out of Winslade now, so he's definitely going to be looking to get past and get on the podium.
I imagine Winslade will be defending for his life, trying to get his first podium of the limited Adhesion Championship, and well, these two fighting is going to help Line and Garlic stretch their lead as well, and you've got Garlic's teammate there just not taking this series of right-handers correctly. So Richard's still defending from Tranter, and with as aggressive as we've seen Tranter, and especially on cold tyres, Richard's doing a sterling effort to keep him behind.
Yeah, up to P5 now, doing very well. Tyres screaming as he came through there.
Dixon not far behind as well, so yeah, I've got very evenly matched drivers by the looks of it.
So Tranter looking to the inside again. Oh, now he's going for the slipstream.
Such a drag race again with these cars. It's the exit on that last corner is just so pivotal for any opportunity. You can see now Richards is, despite getting out the slipstream, or not having the slipstream, has benefited from it. And then Kimberley looking on the inside of Jones down that straight as well. Jones going very wide.
Jones locking up. Kimberley up to 8th. Yeah, like you say, it's a surprisingly long straight for such a short lap. But Jones fighting back on the inside here into Shell Corner. That's nice aggressive stuff, like that. Not as much. Kimberley will not be pleased with that.
Right,
He thought he got the job done. Oh, look at that! Racing up onto the bridge. Side by side coming off the bridge. This is amazing.
I've had to do it
Kimberley
twice there.
back.
Kimberley didn't he? Looks like he's got it done.
Astonishing.
Those two have been running quite close together a lot of this race now, but yeah, they've avoided all the incidents, but not here.
Oh, contact.
Yeah, there was a very fast move by Batty, and yeah, gave him a bit of a kiss. Gave Winslade a bit of a kiss there, and that's a wheel off. Winslade, yeah, that's the end of the podium dream, I'd say. Batty with a very late breaking move has got up to 3rd place, and yeah, it looks like Winslade's going to be looking for another podium another week.
Yeah. So a replay now of Hankin crashing into the ledge, which explains why both of those needed to visit the pits for repairs. This is on board. So Lawrence was following Richards into the corner, and a healthy whack on the rear.
Well, if Hankin can't break his wheels on the pit wall on that last corner, he certainly can on the Dirty Legends driver of the ledge there. So really unfortunate for both the Dirty Legends, actually. That's Winslade's in the pits at the moment, down into 10th, and the ledge now taking 10th place as you look at the timing screens. And Line, as we're just looking back on, so much to look at. Line now looking to try and get the lead from Garlic, and he's right on the tail of him. This could be where you take the lead. That first corner is the heaviest braking zone on this track.
Indeed, yeah, the fastest lap. Fastest lap from line on that effort as well. He's really starting to bring the fight to Garlic. Let's see whether Garlic can resist. Quite a tricky track to overtake, as we've seen from all the contact. And this is Dixon now lining up a move on Tranter. Quite a lot of damage on the front of Mark's car there. Good to see.
Yeah, we've got, again, just want to shout out Richards, who's now extended his lead over both Tranter and Dixon behind him, and chasing down what could be a podium position if there's further incidents up at the front, which, well, yeah, those podium positions, I mentioned it first place before, but seem to be a bit cursed with Kelly, Miller, now, very wide by Tranter again. And now Winslade all having problems and falling out from the front. So Richards doing a brilliant effort in 4th place and keeping his nose clean. And going to be getting a good haul of points for the Williams team.
Yeah, great shout. There's a repaired Winslade leaving the pits. The fastest lap now for Rob Miller, so it shows you that he was definitely struggling with damage before he went into the pits for some repairs. Well, 1:14.453, that's very rapid.
There's just several races just at the back now, isn't there? Because we've got so many out of position drivers that you've got Kelly, Winslade and Hankin all a few seconds apart, and trying to lock them up again. And you've got these bubbles of cars all around the track, kind of out of position and fighting amongst themselves at similar pace, just not in the right place on the lineup. So Kelly to be down in 11th, you'd imagine should be battling up at the front. But he's got Winslade, who was showing a lot of pace, and Hankin, who was making up places behind him. So shouldn't be having a boring race, even though he's down in 11th place now.
Indeed, yeah. So in fact, this is all really good stuff for Line and Batty in the championship, and indeed Garlic, who are all up at the front still. In fact, look, Winslade now right in front of the leaders.
It's not a good position to be. You get any blue flags on that first corner, or those first corners, so Garlic will be screaming to get Winslade out of the way. It's probably where you can make that move. Line right in the back of Garlic, taking advantage of having the back markers to go through.
Got to be wondering what Winslade's feeling though after, at one point leading the race, his best qualifying, and now right down in 12th place and about to be lapped.
And Garlic goes out the way there.
On the grass. This is all this isn't nice. This isn't good to see.
And somehow Line out of that has ended up taking first place, but through Garlic, unfortunately, being held up inadvertently by the looks of it from Winslade, who was trying his best to get out of the way, ends up going off onto the grass to finally allow the pass to go through. And now Garlic finds himself in 2nd place, chasing down Line where he's holding them off quite well. So now it's up to Garlic to try and get back that first place.
Yeah, just felt like a poor driving by Winslade. Really, he should have let him pass on the straight. Really, that's the contact. Then, how did Batty not come off with a broken wheel there as well? That's strange to see.
Big lock-up, slightly out of control there, and locked up again. But I don't know if it's a bit impatient by Batty, and well, that's just a car falling to pieces there, isn't it?
Yeah, it was already in a pretty poor state already, but bang, there, so the wheel breaks and insta repairs. It's interesting replay on Winslade's point of view. And you see the top of the suspension has gone.
Well, I said earlier that Kelly needed to go in because he's not going to regrow a wheel, but it looks like his teammate Batty did regrow a wheel, because it certainly looked to be off at one point, and the netcode error with sim racing seems to, like you say, instantly repair it. So very, very, very lucky by Batty, who now rejoins Limit of Adhesion and rejoins in a podium scoring position potentially.
Indeed, yeah. And I suppose we do see the fact that people are racing over the internet. There is slight milliseconds of delay, and you need to sort of factor that in when you are racing close, because the car could be slightly different to where you actually think it is. So, Mark Tranter now in P5, Dixon behind him 6th. This is the battle we're looking at right now. Still
Okay.
less than half a second between the front two as well. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's funny with Tranter now. He's, of course, having the issues in those early laps. And yeah, solid pace to have 6th place, but not really making any inroads. And after his recent 2 victories, seems to be getting a good feel for the car, but it seems that the rest of the grid have as well. So I don't know if he's going to be able to make up that time to get up close to Richards, with Dixon tacking very well behind. But yeah, it's as we get into round 7, this back half of the championship, the drivers just getting very comfortable with the Skip Barber, and all seem to be holding a pretty good pace. And if they could not hit each other this race, we'd be wondering who could be winning it. It could be anybody from about 7 or 8 drivers.
Yeah, no, good point. Yeah, I had to wonder if maybe Mark's just not enjoying this particular track then, because like you say, he was definitely on top of the car in the last 2 races and showing a massive uptick in performance.
Yeah, so Dixon, like I say, was doing his first race for Alpha Blobby, and of course Dixon missed last week. He's had a podium already this season to show that he's got the ability, but struggled since then. But he's doing really well this time, and he's not letting Tranter have any breathing space whatsoever. And yeah, looking like he's going to finish at worst 6th and possibly 5th place if he can take that position off Tranter.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of what might have been looking at the timing screens. We've seen Gavin Kelly and Winslade both popping in a 1:14.6. Fastest lap of the race, though, still Miller with that 14.5. And up front we've got best of a 14.6 and a 14.6 from Lyon and Garlick. So, and a 14.8 from Batty. So yeah, so many drivers capable of doing front running pace. So. It's a shame that so many of them are out of position now.
I've got out of position. Winslade looks like he's in the right position, just 1 lap down, unfortunately for him. So he's let Garlick and Lyon get past, who are now fighting each other. And Winslade, what's similar to the last race last season on the oval, is able to keep up with these leaders. And yeah, just be thinking what might have been, because he certainly had the pace to possibly even get the win, if not a podium this time round, and he's showing it right now behind Lyon, behind Garlick, who are the leaders. Oof, bit of a lock up there, and did well not to be in the back of Garlick.
Yeah, it's difficult to know what to do, isn't it, when you're that close to the leaders and lapping at a similar pace, whether just to sort of fall back. I think, probably not thinking as clearly as he could after his troubles this race.
Dixon now looking very, very racy against Tranter. I thought he was going to have a move there. Tranter had to defend on the inside of the sweeper, and Dixon, really not letting him have any space whatsoever for the battle now for 5th place. And Tranter having to defend very hard.
Yeah, indeed. And it's so nice to see Dixon back doing well in the races, because he did really well at Okayama, didn't he, in round 2, and then he's had a number of troubles since then. So, no, it's really delighted for him to see him back fighting hard. So we see Winslade now looking to the inside, presumably he's want to try and unlap himself. Garlick in the slipstream of Lyon for the lead. Dives to the inside.
Yeah, I think Winslade will be thinking better of trying to unlap himself there. That's a horrible, horrible corner to take as acutely as he was there. You want to be going as far right as possible, and Winslade spinning back, and he's out the points anyway, but be frustrated to have fallen even further back now. But Garlick at least doesn't have to look in his mirrors, as he can chase down Lyon, and he's lost that position, but he's really not were you not struggling to hold on to Line? So Line wasn't in second place behind Garlic because Garlic was holding him up. He was in second place because Garlic was just so fast and showing it now.
Yeah, no, true. And it was showing, I mean, it kind of was proving how difficult it was to pass around this track, because there was, without the interference of Winslade, then Lime probably wouldn't have been able to get through Garlic, so I think Garlic's probably relieved to see Winslade dropping it and getting the hell off his gearbox.
Yeah, you see how difficult it is to overtake. We've got Dixon here who's been on the back of Tranter for lap after lap after lap, and yeah, you're right. It's we've seen a lot of positions changed, but the overtakes have been difficult to do, and Tranter himself has been the victim, or the not successful, trying to do a slipstream down this main straight, getting the move done to start with, and then losing out. And Dixon chasing that slipstream.
He's still trying to go very defensive. Dixon to the outside now. He's on the racing line. And through the sweeper he goes. Can he get it slowed down? Tranter looking to attack again though. Oh, this move is not over yet, surely. You were talking about the fight backs in the track guide, and this is the corner for it. Wow, what a great move.
Yeah, I think Dixon's done very well. I'm just talking how difficult it is to overtake, and it just proves me wrong. Trying to go on the inside where we saw Kimberly and Jones earlier having a little bit of a ding-dong, but no, it looks like Dixon's made that move stick. He's been glad to see some open track in front of him. He's looking at the gearbox Tranter for half the race. Yeah.
But it took him, I mean, that was all down to the great exit from the final corner, and then the slipstream down the main straight, and then being able to get onto the racing line and leaving Tranter on that acute angle that you mentioned earlier as well into the sweeper. Everything falling right for him.
Yeah, and that back half of the track, it's just so vitally important that you can get to the back of the car in front for that final corner, because that's where you're essentially making the overtake happen on the first part of the lap. The first two corners is your exit on that last corner, but to get a decent exit on the last corner you need to be fast through the rest of the track. So it's very, very flowing, this track. When you take out of this figure of eight section, it all links together. Yeah,
no, absolutely. It's very fun going over those blind crests and things on the backstretch. It's a lovely technical, fun and fast piece of track.
Got the ledge now, just trying to fend off Gavin Kelly, and Kelly, of course, who was right at the front of the pack, qualified on the front row, facing no points at the moment, and the ledge, of course, took his pit stop, as it looks like a lot of the field is done. Of course, very wide there, might allow Kelly an option
sideways
to go through. But no, he's defending for that final point for the Dirty Legends team. Of course, Winslade losing that podium, so this will be the only point they'll be getting at this race.
Yeah, they had the opportunity for, well, at one point nearly 33 points, and now if the ledge can hang on, there'll be 1 point for the Legends. 1.4 laps to go. This is all going to come down to the last lap for Kelly. See what he can do.
Just looking down at the team's championship with Stupidiguri, just a slender 3 points ahead of Kelly. Has to get out of it there. Wow, good defending there from the ledge, and yeah, I think Kelly's could be a bit too far back to do it on this lap.
Final corner, Garlic attacking line, and they are coming up to finish the race. So the race winner then, David Lime from P6 on the grid. Opportunistic drive there, great drive by Line. On board with Kelly now as we see who's going to get the final point of the race. Stephen Batty has come home in third place on the podium, and Richards, who a fantastic drive to P4.
So these guys are just the ones we're watching, Kelly and the ledge. Yeah, they're just almost exactly one lap behind, and Kelly look on the inside over the bridge now. difficult.
Well, the
to
ledge
defend.
completely missed the apex, and
Nice race.
wow.
Great on-board action. I'm holding my breath so these guys don't.
Same on this one, not talking.
It's going right down to the wire, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I just want to say that Dixon held off Tranter in the end to claim a great P5.
Final corner of the race.
Oof.
Ledge sideways going, Jesus.
Great stuff. Both of them without damage somehow.
How are
Ledge
they
holds on
not
for
dead?
10th place.
Amazing.
Wow.
It's a drop race for Kelly then.
As I was trying to say before these guys rudely interrupted me, yeah, there's going to be big implications in the team's championship because Stupid Iguri were only 3 points ahead of Little and Large, and of course, Stupid Iguri's got Batty doing very well in 3rd place. You can see now. There could be big implications in the team's championship, but yeah, take us through the results, please.
Yeah, indeed. So, David Lyon taking the win then from James Garlick in 2nd place, Stephen Batty in 3rd, Gary Richards with an incredible drive to P4 with Paul Dixon coming home in 5th for the Alpha Blobby team, Tranter 6th, Kelly in 7th, Kimberly in 7th. I'm still blown away by that last lap. So, and at the back, Gavin Kelly coming home in 11th, Winslade 12th and Hank in 13th, all of them with a race to forget. Let's take a look at the championship then. Rob Miller hanging on to 1st place, but it's super close now with Line only 4 points behind him. Gavin Kelly remains in 3rd place, Tranter remains in 4th, but they're now tied on points. Garlick in 5th and Batty in 6th. Winslade drops to 7th, Richards, Bibby and then Dixon in 10th. Gary Jones is 11th, Lawrence Aaron Jenkins 12th. Kimberly now equaling him on points for 13th place, and then Burnett, Hankin and Luke Hollick yet to score. Jim, team's championship.
Yeah, well, as mentioned, there's only 3 points gap between them before, but Stupid Iguri now extend. Now they've got 131 points with Batty doing so well, and that's allowed KCMT to jump into 2nd place and 123 points. So Little and Large now in 3rd place, and they're just now battling just slightly ahead of the Walliams team. Verge of Grip without Burnett this week again have got 5th place with 87 points. Dirty Legends now up in 68 points in 6th place. And Alpha Blobby have jumped Lucky Bibs because we've had joining of Dixon taking his points with him to the Alpha Blobby team.
Indeed, yeah. So still remembering that last lap with, the ledge was all over the place with, Kimberly didn't like the track, it looks like. Richard saying pretty sure Mark backed off so he didn't crash into the back of slow old me on most of the corners. No, I think he just drove well, Gary. And David Lyon, bad luck bear, had a great battle with you but kind of inherited that. Checkers.
But yeah, Gary Richards been a bit harsh himself. His terrific drive is, I think he was just quick enough on the day. And
Yeah.
much
No, it was
deserved.
amazing. So he did really well indeed. So next race we are going to Lime Rock where we had a race last year and it's the same classic layout, so no chicanes, a high speed circuit. Should be certainly an interesting track for these skippies, which it's one of their home tracks, isn't it? It's where the series was originally based. Jim, tell us where we can find you on the internet.
Yeah, you can find me all over the internet, but specifically you can find me on medium.com where I write about Formula One, or YouTube for my satire series, The F1 Week That Was, or you can follow me on Instagram for a bit of both. You can just search for Jim on F1 on any of those and you'll find me.
Excellent stuff. And you can find The Limit of Adhesion at thelimitofadhesion.com in our Facebook group on Facebook. And please don't forget to like and subscribe our videos on YouTube. Come and say hi to us on Discord. Well, Jim, a crazy race and a crazy track. Thanks for joining us as always. See you
Always a
next
pleasure.
time. Cheers.